in terms of managing this crime pattern, and 1.1 billion has been utilized up to so far.
Yes. So then the next one is the 2021 unrest. So an intervention or a task team was then established. Can you just talk us through that?
Yes, during the 2021 unrest, there was a situation that needed to be contained, and obviously it could not be contained using the normal resources in those provinces that were affected. Therefore, decisions were taken to put together special interventions and special teams to go and support those provinces. You will note that then we had the bulk of the expenditure lying on 2021, and then few claims that came through in 2022 up to 24-25. These are the expenses that were incurred in support of those operations, as well as interventions in those provinces that were affected.
So what I can see from this table is that over the period in which the SAPS was dealing with that unrest, that it costs just 950 million, so just shy of $1 billion, to be able to deal with that unrest situation. And this was drawn directly from the SAPS budget.
It was drawn directly from the SAPS budget, and we needed to reprioritize, because it was a situation that was confronting us. We needed to reprioritize and ensure that we contain that situation through ensuring that there are sufficient deployments and support that was provided to the provinces that were affected.
Is this just, for my layman understanding, is this what would be the classic idea of a task team, where something happens that is unexpected, like the 2021 unrest, and the SAPS have to react, and then budgets have to be reprioritized and allocated to deal with that? Is this, if one wanted to get a kind of simplified example that everyone's familiar with?
Not necessarily. We deal with different situations. Like I indicated, the operatives will sit and do their crime pattern analysis and identify stubborn areas. There are other stubborn crime patterns that would demand or require from the SAPS leadership to then deal with them in other, applying other methodologies. Then there will be those that are unexpected that you'll have. So we deal with quite a number of situations that from time to time requires special intervention or special attention in this particular regard. You will note that the next one, before I get to the political task team, would be operations in Cape Town. We have been in the Western Cape and investing in terms of resources, additional resources to deal with those issues in this particular regard. So we deal with different situations, different policing problems emerge from time to time. You do have areas that require stabilization. You do have areas that requires additional resources in this regard. Sometimes you then do have those that will take place now. For instance, you look at the March 2023 shutdown. It is a situation that needed to be contained in this regard. You will note that during that March, it was a closure of the books or closure of the financial year, and you then needed to spend or process those payments in March, and in the following year, probably in April, those claims that could not go through then went through in April in the following year. So you do have different type of policing challenges that the police are confronted with from time to time, and those challenges requires different interventions and different plans and strategies.
So just finally, in relation to this table, I see some of these intervention units, the expenditure is only for a couple of years, whereas I can see that in relation to the PKTT operation, Lockdown and Thunder, and the Emanguzi cross-border in KZN, those have a task team operations and expenditure that's been incurred for at least 6 years.
Yes.
So does that mean that, and you'll correct me if I'm wrong, if when you're looking at the 432, you must also consider the duration within which the expenditure was incurred, whereas some of these seem to have incurred the expenditure over a shorter period.
Yes, correct. And when you look at those three, perhaps they are the more comparable ones. You will note that for lockdown as well as Emanguzi, then the expenditure goes down. Evaluations of these interventions do take place from time to time. The operational environments and the project team leaders will convene and have discussions and evaluate and take decisions to say we are demobilizing or we are reducing the number of deployments. So those operational decisions are a norm, and those discussions are a norm, and of course, any decision would have to then go through the accounting officer or the national commissioner to then approve such a decision in that regard.